mixed doubles. The 106, they are red, they are white, they are dynamite. Thomas Lugo and Premier Ideal of the Month. Quarterfinalists in February 2009, semi-finalists in Super Series 2009.
Gillian Clark and John Burgess come back off their soapbox and now concentrate on the job in hand. We're now looking at the second match of this Yonex Sunrise BWF World Championships. Laban and Ritayul, what a fantastic achievement for them to get into this final. 7th seeded in this competition, and it's such a relief to have two teams on show that do not represent China. No disrespect to the Chinese, it's just refreshing to have a world final without the Chinese representation, because here Widianto and Natsir were pushed really close by another Danish couple, and we'll hear about that later on, but in the end their experience came through, and particularly the young girl at the back there, Natsir, played an extraordinary part in achieving this place in the final for the Indonesians. Indonesia hoping for at least one gold medal here at the World Championships. Laban and Ritayul will be very, very pleased to be there. They will be the underdogs, but I tell you what, they're going to have to work very hard with Widianto and Natsir to deny the very, very determined Laban and Ritayul. And don't forget, they were the Super Series Masters champions back in December in Kota Kinabalu, so they know what it is like to perform at the highest level. We've got our umpire for this one, Nguyen Pham Duyan from Vietnam. He'll be assisted by Stephen Temple, and I'm sure we'll see cutaways of him in just a while. But in terms of mixed doubles, this is the home territory of Gillian Clark. She has played more mixed doubles matches than I've certainly had hot dinners. Gillian Clark.
Well, it's very interesting, John, that you say that the Indonesians are overwhelming favourites. You mentioned the Super Series finals and the fact that the Danes won the Super Series finals. The pair they beat in the final were their opponents of today. And of course they won that in 3 very tough games. I believe it was 22-20 in the deciding game. I know you were actually there. I wasn't actually in Kota Kinabalu. But, you know, as far as the Danes are concerned, I believe that the way they have performed so far this week, with the pairs that they have beaten, in my eyes, they are the favourites because they are the pair that I believe are playing better.
That's a very interesting observation. Now, Gillian Clark will analyse why she makes that statement. Is it the net play from the girl? Is it the problems at the baseline with Widianto? What's the issue?
No, the issue is purely and simply by the pairs they've beaten. For the Danish combination in the quarter-final, they had to play against Zhengbo and Ma Jin, who have won the last 4 mixed doubles tournaments they've played in. So they, coming into the World Championships, the Chinese pair of Zhengbo and Ma Jin were, in my eyes, the favourites. But the Danes beat them in the quarter-final. Then in the semi-final yesterday, the Danes beat the reigning Olympic champions, Lee Yong-dae and Lee Ho-jung. The fact that they have beaten those 2 pairs, I believe, shows that they are in the most incredible form coming into this final. But whether this match is one match too many for them remains to be seen.
There is no doubt at all that the preparation of this Danish team has been superb. You can feel it throughout the camp. They're staying in our hotel, and I tell you, they are absolutely in a class of their own in terms of their focus and the way in which they've set up. They were not in the mood to withdraw from this tournament like their compatriots across the European North Sea. The English pulled out. The Danes says, no way, we're in this because we want to play badminton and we're going to get on with it, whatever the circumstances. And I'm really delighted that they made that choice and decision, because that shows that they put badminton above all else. And I think that probably the single-mindedness and the way in which they prepared, they weren't prepared to give it up on a whim.
You saying that, John, my mind is cast back to a very famous quote from Chrissy Evert, the tennis player, world number one. And when her opponent came off court and she was asked about a match, I can't remember who her opponent was, and she said, well, thank goodness my happiness doesn't depend on the result of a tennis match. And Chrissy Evert turned round and said, thank goodness mine does, because she said tennis is the most important thing to me. Now there we can see that the Danes rode to the final. I've already mentioned that quarter-final victory over the very hot favourites in many people's eyes, Zheng Bo and Ma Jin, in 3 very tough games. That lasted an hour and 7 minutes. Semi-final, again 3 very tough games. 21-18 in the decider against the Olympic champions in an hour and 8 minutes. And that just emphasises the form they've been in. Compare that to the Indonesians. Their toughest match was obviously in the semi-final against the other Danish combination, Fischer Nielsen and Pedersen. That was 1 minute shy of the out, but again 21-18 in the deciding game. So both these pairs very, very tough semi-final encounters. So physically they should both be in good condition, or the same condition.
The other thing, of course, is they'll be mightily relieved to be here because it was so close. You know, so in fact, their celebration mood, I think, they probably think, my goodness, we almost lost that, but we're here, we got nothing to lose now. And I think that euphoria almost will carry them a long way, both of them. We've got the introductions complete. We're into our second matchup. It's a mixed doubles, Denmark versus Indonesia.
I think there's something we can really look for as far as the styles of these two pairs are concerned. Thomas Leybourn there will not be afraid to come forward and really try and dominate the net area. His partner, the tall lady, she really is very tall, 1.83 m, tall left-hander. She loves playing at the back of the court, and she's got probably the hardest smash in the women's side in world badminton, and therefore she won't worry about going to the back of the court, thundering down the smashes and allowing Thomas Leybourn to dominate the front of the court. Now all badminton mixed doubles traditionalists will say that is totally alien, it's totally contrary to how mixed doubles should be played, but you can't argue with a style that gets pairs through to World Championship finals and possibly takes them to a world title.
It's 3-love. The opening exchanges are going for Denmark, and I can feel the energy from the Danish group at the moment. They are absolutely determined. They know they have had recent success against the defending world champions. And I made the point earlier in the week, Jill, that you know, if you have become world champion, if you're right at the top of the tree, there is only one place to go. The Danes, on the other hand, are absolutely determined to get there. So they are fighting tooth and nail to achieve that status. With everybody behind them, all the planning, all the coaching, all the training programs have just been excellent. They have every chance of achieving their ambition. 1-3. Widianto started out very nervy. He's missed a couple at the net. He was caught in two minds there down that forehand side, and again he found the net. It's 4-1.
Yeah, very interesting as well. I can see in these early stages that the Danish combination certainly don't want to lift the shuttle. Thomas Leybourn there was driving the shuttle flat over the net. They're wanting to look to attack whenever possible.
Do you know, I think the Indonesians are struggling. They're struggling because they know that the Danes are feeling good about their game. There's a whole range of reasons why the stars are on the Danish side. And at 5-1 in the first, you've got to believe that they think they can win this. Look at the defence there. Wonderful play by Rita Yule. She stretched every millimetre of that frame.
Yeah, she certainly did, but look how far back she is in court. And certainly Liliana Natsir trying the little block shot to bring her forward. It was the right shot to try from Liliana, but just didn't execute it properly. 6-1. That's wayward.
Yeah, absolutely. They're really at 6s and 7s, literally, at the moment. 7-1 now. That was a really poor shot, but it was a clever service. Caught her opponent just on the back foot a little bit, guessing. It was a superb service though, wasn't it? It caused the problems there.
Yeah, and I know I always bang on about it, about how important the serve is in doubles. The serve, the return of serve and the third shot set up and determine the rally. It is absolutely vital. And most of the time in doubles you'll see the players serving low. So good low serve, probably one of the most important shot in doubles.
The first real error we've seen, unforced error. Laban trying to relay it into a totally different angle there, fails, but at 2-8 they're in charge. That's clever. What a setup. That, from the moment that Nat shot was played, you could tell the absolute power and the aggression. Laban started it, Rita Yule got involved, but you could tell. I was really excited at the fact that they were coming forward and looking good. It's 9-2.
Yes, I think one of the real qualities of this Danish combination is their ability to interchange. You know, they're so fluid as a pair. You know, one comes forward, the other covers. You know, there's no restrictions of you're supposed to be in this sort of formation. Oh, well, that was an opportunity. But she may have missed that, John. As far as the Danes are concerned, they won't be bothered by that, because the threat of her coming forward is making the Indonesians a little bit timid in the way they're playing. Yeah, it's nice from Liliana, and that's it.
She's the one that kept it together yesterday under pressure from the Danish pair, and it was a fantastic matchup. I saw Pedersen last night and she was disappointed, but she said, hey, it was a great battle. And of course Joachim is a real star. I've just heard from the coach of the Danish group that Joachim is just an absolute star. Fisher Nielsen, he's big in TV, he's big in advertising, they absolutely love him. Well, he'll have to wait another year for a World Championship opportunity.
Good defending from Thomas Laban, driving the shuttle back. Sheer speed of shot, making it very difficult for Liliana Natsir.
11-4 at the break in the first in this mixed doubles encounter. Denmark at the moment really looking like the real deal, and certainly looking like the champions.
The Danish head coach. Advising the Indonesian pair.
It's been a nearly tournament for the Indonesians, isn't it? They've nearly achieved, and I get that distinct impression right here. They're nearly going to win this, but I don't think they're actually mentally that they're right on top of their game. Look at that, 12-4. They're playing it, but they're not really competing.
No, and I think the Danes at the moment are really riding on the crest of a wave, and as far as the Danish fans are concerned, they'll be just so hoping that the bubble doesn't finally burst in this final of the mixed doubles, because they have been so good throughout the competition and playing the best badminton that I've ever seen them play.
Not just in the mixed doubles, but I mean the singles as well. They've just been super, great entertainers. I mean, what about that one? Peter Garda, fantastic, against Lin Dan. Tremendous fighting spirit. And of course, for the benefit of badminton in general in the world, it will be lovely to see a European group coming through and challenging.
Well, the last time that Denmark won the mixed doubles at the World Championships was in Lausanne in 1995, when Thomas Lund and Marlene Thompson, who's now Mrs. Thomas Lund, won the gold medal there.
Thomas Lund, of course, we must say, is the COO of BWF and recently moved over a couple of months ago. And I had the great privilege of meeting his children, believe it or not. They came into my commentary booth when I was doing the Man U tour not that many weeks ago in Kuala Lumpur. But he has moved out to Asia with his family from Switzerland. And of course, that's what a shot that is from Laban.
That is unbelievable. To find that angle and have the courage to play a shot like that, well, that just shows that the Danes are brimming with confidence. And crikey, with a 10-point lead in this opening game. Oh, that's just short.
6-15.
Widianto and Netsia, of course, the silver medalists in Beijing last year, and it was, well, that time it was the Korean public that had the chance to cheer, because they were the ones that took the gold. And we will be seeing one of those achieve that later on this afternoon in the men's doubles. Lee Yong-dae, of course. 7:15. Right now, Widianto has got to start doing something really special, waving that Jakarta magic wand.
I think the important thing for the Indonesians concerned, they've got to play themselves into the match before the start of the second game. I can't see them winning this opening game.
No way.
And but they need to feel better about themselves. They need to feel that they're in the rallies more, and therefore it's important to keep fighting in this opening game, just so that they gain a bit of confidence for the start of the second.
But look at the difference in feel. Look at the difference. I mean, we keep talking about this magical thing called body language, but it's amazing. The Danes are talking to each other. They're touching each other, a little bit of encouragement here and there. There's no communication going on. Netsia and Widianto have accepted they're going to lose his first game. Look
Brilliant.
at this.
Absolutely brilliant.
18-7.
Looks as if he was going for the big smash and just checking the shot at the last moment. Again, John, it's the sign of the confidence, going for shots like that.
Oh dear. Dear, oh dear. Widianto does not miss those when his brain is in action. At the moment, he's thinking about anything else but the job in hand. He's not focused. 19-7. It's a procession. Never known such a one-sided mixed doubles in a final. 20 points to 7. Denmark supreme.
Yeah, and they've deserved this though. I mean, tactically they're playing the right game. Their shots have been accurate, and in contrast, the number of unforced errors from the Indonesians really has been woeful.
Yep. Okay, 8:20. Can you reach double figures? 12 game points. Possibility, 11 game points. It's in. Yep.
She was, I think, probably expecting Laybourne to try and intercept that one. Well, that was definitely in. It was a good call by the line judge.
They have reached double figures, but I think that will be as far as they go. Oh, good stuff.
Now that's what Liliana Natsia tried to do earlier on.
We've seen it throughout the week.
Yep.
She's been doing that.
Yeah, the lovely little change of pace. That's what she's got, that lovely feel and touch when she hits the shuttle.
Oh. 12-20. Well, 4 points in a row. That'll set them up for the second game, of course. A little bit more confidence. And in fact, once more, they win a few points. They're now communicating again. That's short.
The thing is, John, it's not only the fact that the Indonesians now have played themselves into this match and gained a little more confidence. The other impact, of course, is now that the Danes have lost six straight points.
Yep.
You know, they won't have as much confidence for the second game.
That's it, 21-13 in the first. And if it hadn't been for a rear guard action there by the Indonesian duo, it would have been really abysmal. As it is, it's still bad enough for Indonesia. Celebration time for the Danes. They're looking good for the title right here and now. Can we see a change? Who knows? People wonder why nations with a relatively small population like Denmark constantly achieve at this game. There's obviously something in the setup, the schools, environment, the support of the ministries, the great talent, of course, but this duo have been promising for a while, and they are now delivering brilliantly. I tell you, you have every right to celebrate in Denmark at the moment, because you're witnessing the potential world champions in their discipline. It's a great thrill to be able to say that. He's just not there, is he?
No, if I was the Danes, I would be playing the shuttle on Nova Widianto the whole time, because the poor man is having a nightmare at the moment. Normally in mixed doubles you always assume that the woman may be the more vulnerable of the two players on court, but quite frankly the situation as it is at the moment with the Indonesians, I would probably place most of my attacking play on Nova Widianto.
Well, with that great leave by Laban, he knew it. He had absolutely perfect radar there to leave that at 3-0. I couldn't agree more. He gave me just that odd moment of concern in the semi-finals. That's here, and that's a service fault called. That really is, well, it's a big call by Stephen Temple of Wales.
Yes, he was saying it was a double motion.
And even now, Rita Yule doesn't understand. Maybe I can translate him.
Well,
the Welsh to the English.
Well, the thing is, I don't understand why players then have to go and ask the umpire, because in badminton, when a service fault is called, the service judge always gives a hand signal, which is a set hand signal, indicating what the fault was for. So he has clearly indicated that it was for a double motion, and she should understand that that's what the fault has been called for. She may disagree with his interpretation, but as far as the Danes are concerned, you know, this is bothering me slightly, that they're getting so involved in discussion around this. They have been so on top of this match. Clearly, the opening game was dominated by them. They were leading 20 points to 7 before closing it out 21-13. 3-love up in this second game. Now, I don't see that as a double motion, I have to say. I think they've got a point. But they're not going to get this decision overruled.
No, I agree with that. Absolutely agree entirely. It's really a question of sucking in air. Okay, so you didn't do anything different than you normally do. And we've got the referee involved here
yes,
right now.
Now, not only will this disrupt the momentum of the Danish combination, but what it will do is lift the spirits of the Indonesians, because they're going to think, oh goodness, they're so upset, they're tight, and you know, they're arguing, they're not focused in the job in hand, you know, and still the discussions go on and on. I find this quite unbelievable. I mean, you've got coaches at the back of the court. If I was the coaching staff, I would have shouted onto the court, forget it, Camilla, just come on, you know, mixed rally.
It means so much, but there are rights and wrong ways of doing things, and that is just immediately the consequence of what you've just been talking about, Jill, is that they, and you know, Thomas Laban then looked across at Stephen Temple and said, what about that for a foul serve then? And waved his racket around to suggest it. Now, Widianto might take great confidence out of this moment. And there he is. Yes, indeed he is. It's 3-all. And it's all come from nothing, from absolutely nothing. They were absolutely riding a wave, and now they're being swamped by it.
Yeah. You know, it's the whole psychology of sport, and one incident like that can determine the outcome of a match. You know, but that's what sport is about.
It's improvised theatre, isn't it? Bit lucky, it's set up, and there it is, delivered, 4-3.
You see, the thing is, my interpretation of sport, even if you know a wrong decision has been made, and I have to say I couldn't see the fault that the service judge was calling there, but you have, if you can't change the decision, there's no method of changing the decision in badminton of the service judge. It's like Maradona's Hand of God goal in the Soccer World Cup. The decision can't be changed. We can all say that the referee made the wrong decision, but you've got to get on with it. You've got to accept it. That's what sport is about.
Okay, Rita Yule raises her hand in apology, but I tell you what, she will not actually mean it in her heart. She was right there. It's 5-3. Yep, I agree with everything you said, Jill, and certainly they'll be lucky if they can get back on track again here, because the wheels certainly just came off the truck a little bit there, and there was no need for it.
Yeah, but if I mean, they've got this 2-point advantage. If they can just get an extra 2 or 3 points now, they'll be back on track.
So they won 3, they lost 3, they've won 3. Did we say badminton was a game of momentum?
Oh, that's brilliant.
It is. That's out, and that is not brilliant from Labourne. He let his head rule his heart right there. He just got so heavy on it.
Yeah, but what I was talking about right at the start of the match, that Camilla Ruta-Yule is very happy to smash from the back of the court and allow Labourne to go to the front. That was a perfect incident of that, an example of that. But unfortunately for the Danes, Labourne didn't convert. But we haven't actually seen a lot of that so far in the match. In fact, Camilla Ruta-Yule has gone forward to the net and so much taller than Liliana Natsir, and I think she's really intimidated her.
It's going well for Denmark at 8-4. They won the first 21-13. They could have won it 21-8. It was really tight, but here again they are just showing that they've calmed down. Status quo is definitely right there.
And all of the attacking play in that rally was directed at Nova Widianto. You assume that the man has got the better defence, but the Danes have recognised that he's having a nightmare at the moment, and they're trying to capitalise on that. And that's good awareness, good tactics.
5-9. That's gone. Now, they've had the confidence and they've delivered. They cannot allow the Indonesians to pick up any more points here. 2 or 3 points and the whole perspective of the match could change around. That's exactly what happened in the semi-final.
Now the umpire just having a word with the players, because Nova Widianto was ready to serve. Thomas Labourne didn't get into the ready position to receive. Widianto then served, and what Labourne is saying, well, Widianto is not settled when he's waiting. He's waving about with his racket. Oh, service fault called, and again for the same thing. Double motion of the racket. Now,
didn't see it. Did you?
Not at all.
Well, controversy abounds in this mixed doubles final here in Hyderabad. The umpires, the officials getting heavily involved in this. The players just a little bit bad-tempered, but it just shows how keyed up they are, particularly from the Danish side. It's short. Widianto misses at the net. They go into the break in this second game. 11 points to 6 in favour of Denmark, and I can't see another result. It's going to be Denmark. It surely has to be.
Well, there's no doubt the Indonesians are in big trouble. The defending world champions, a game down, and as you can see, 11-6 down in the second. Of course, the Indonesians have the chance to replicate what Lindan has done in the men's singles and win 3 world titles in the same discipline. But quite frankly, John, I think they're absolutely right with the way they're performing at the moment. Doesn't seem like it's a probability. Still a possibility.
Absolutely. I can't see any fat lady trying to even clear her throat at the moment in Copenhagen. But I tell you what, there's a big smile on a few faces.
Everything from now on is going to depend on character and nerve. Have the Danes got what it takes to close it out?
They have.
One very, very interesting thing that I noticed last night, John, is that these two Danes, Thomas Labourne and Camilla Ruta-Yule, sat at dinner, having dinner with the last Danish world champions, Lars Borska and Jonas Rasmussen, who of course won the men's doubles in 2003 in Birmingham. And I am convinced that the Danish coaching staff said, go and have dinner with them, talk about what it's like the night before a World Championship final, how you approached it, what it's going to be like on the day, and I think that probably that has been a big help, certainly so far. I mean, look at them, they're on fire at the moment.
Great points. Preparation and planning. There's no substitute. 13-7. They're imagining what it's going to be like, I'm sure. Everyone in Denmark at the moment to have another world champion. 2 world champions.
But they have to put that out of their mind, though.
I'm not talking about the players, I'm talking about the fans and everyone around.
Yeah.
8-13.
Yeah, he just couldn't put it away. Stood his ground at the net, and that's the sort of thing that has been so successful for him earlier on in the tournament.
Widianto Torvitayul. It's gone. It's 10-13. I don't mind being proved wrong. It's just fun saying the way things are and where you feel, which team you feel is going to be there, but I still have my money on the Danes. But that is Widianto just proving that he has got a sting in the tail yet. That's a big fight. Big rally and it's out. It's 14-11. Widianto, you had it right there. Oh dear.
Yeah, that could prove absolutely crucial. And it's not surprising that the Danes have taken the opportunity to have a little timeout. 4 straight points prior to that. Missed by the Indonesians in favour of the Indonesians. Really played them right back into this second game. Former European champions, of course, this Danish pair back in 2006, but this, without question, even though they've played in an All-England final 2005, this is the biggest match of their lives.
Well, at 15-11, they must be now feeling good. Tentative, sure, but really confident as well. Now.
Yeah, when you're on court like this, you know, you just sort of say to yourself, come on, don't do anything stupid. Keep it simple and positive. Stick to the game plan.
It's good. It's down to foot. Nothing that Liliana Natsir could do to defend that one. Laban, well, I like to see energy, I like to see positive, but I tell you, they really have got their brains focused here brilliantly. Last December, I can tell you, they were so thrilled in Kota Kinabalu to upset, and they were, the moment they came off court, they knew this was their next target. Exactly this moment in their lives.
Oh, that's clever. Very clever defence.
Yeah.
The defensive shot from Camilo Rutiyul, just pushing it to the mid-court area, past Liliana Natsir, but making Nova Widianto bend down so low to try and retrieve it. And it's interesting about the focus onto this tournament, John, because this is their first final of the year. Best prior to this was a semi-final. Everything has been geared towards this, and the preparation and the focus has been perfect.
It means so much to so many people. It means so much to Badminton Europe. It certainly will mean everything to their families. On the verge of a World Championship title in their chosen and loved discipline. What an extraordinary moment. This is why we love sport, Jill. This is why all over the world nothing comes close to witnessing this kind of stuff.
Oh, that's a great return of serve. That's the formation that I've been talking about. Working so well, standing his ground at the net. The interception there was superb.
Nothing's gonna stop me now. I'm tempted to sing it, but that would probably undermine the real importance of this moment.
Oh, goodness me. Oh, that was, well, actually, he broke the strings of his racket. That's probably why he made the mistake. I did wonder whether that was a nervous shot, the fact that the arm tenses up.
They put so much tension in these rackets these days. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't more than 35 pounds. They just really love to have a very, very tense racket. In your day, it was certainly less than that, I'm sure.
Yeah, much less than that.
It's 13-19. Widianto looking to save the title. It's just long. It's 14-19. Are we having more drama unfolding here? It would be spectacular if the Indonesians could come back and take. Lebon looked back at the coach. What was the instruction? Well, it wouldn't have been to put it into the net, that's for certain. It's 15-19. It's harder to actually convert the final points of any match than to play the bulk of it. This is really testing moments for Denmark.
That's a good shot.
And another net play from Laban. He shakes his head, he lifts his head. 16-19, wow.
Immediately he hit that shot, he looked up towards the stadium lights here.
There's no way he can blame them. Every player that I've spoken to in training and even after matches, they've said the stadium lights are great. 16-19. It's the moment. Oh no!
That's the third time that the service judge has called a fault for double motion of the racket. And I have to say, John, I can't see it, but what an important thing to happen at this stage of the match.
Well,
it's match points now.
Just cannot believe that he would put his head on the block like that. Well, because he can. Match point, championship point. Denmark. It's in. It's on the line. It's 17-20. Still 3 match points. I still reflect back to that. Why would you want to put yourself in such a compromising, controversial moment in the match? Wow. 17-20. Denmark, get ready. Get ready to jump wherever you are.
Good return of serve.
Surely, yes! Denmark have done it! They are world champions! How good does that sound? Wherever you are. That is absolutely a stunning performance. They've come through the week. They've taken on the world champions, twice world champions in 05 and 07, and I tell you, they have beaten them soundly. Absolutely extraordinary. Well, she was born in Skagen, he was born in Copenhagen. I tell you, they will be celebrating tonight. I take a real view out of my favourite commentator, Bill McLaren, when he always said, they'll be celebrating in the streets of where tonight? It's going to be a fantastic time in the Tivoli Gardens. They'll be even giving, I'm sure, that wonderful mermaid. No, they've given a racket into the crowd. It's absolutely sensational celebrations here. I thought that they had absolutely reached their pinnacle in Kota Kinabalu in December. But wow, in Hyderabad in 2009 in August, they will be able to look back on this and tell their grandchildren. It's a moment in their lives that brings a tear to my eye as well. Laban and Rita Yule are world champions.
Well, what a moment for this pair from Denmark. Laban and Ruta Yule, well, coming into this final.
What a big win indeed. Let's get a quick reaction from them now. The scoreline makes it look very easy, but I'm sure it wasn't. What's your take on this, Thomas?
Yeah, you're right. The score was very good in our favour, but I mean the match was very tight. I think we had more calm on the court today, and we were more cool and played a lot of good shots.
In the final.
Tell you what, you went on to say, Camilla, that whatever you had day before, you'd like to have it again yesterday because you got a big win yesterday and another one. You've been the giant killers in this competition.
Yeah, it's difficult to believe that we have beaten the three top pairs in the world. It's
local
just
television at the moment,
get a gold medal
and I'm sure
in
they
this
will
way.
find the words difficult, beyond ecstatic,
as well.
wonderful, glorious moments.
Congratulations.
Their lives, well, may not be transformed by this, but certainly the endeavour, the effort. Actually, Rita Yule, I can see now, is in absolute floods of tears. She's leaning over the toweling area, and of course she will not believe that she's achieved a life ambition.
World Championship 2021.
Well, we just see Laban going to the floor. He can't believe it. Both of them are they're not exhausted. They're just absolutely elated, delighted, thrilled. Look at this. Oh, there is not a finer moment in sport. And just look at this. In every respect, they were dominant. Smash winners, net winners, clear winners, and I know we have some suspicions about the merits of these match stats. I know particularly, Jill, you have said, I don't believe one or two of those things, but certainly the dominance of those stats will suggest that they were worthy champions. And from the moment we witnessed the first exchanges of that match, we knew the Indonesians would struggle. Here we go, the bronze medals then being delivered to their compatriots. Pedersen and Jochen Fischer-Nielsen received the bronze. Worthy bronze medalists. Could have been an all-Denmark final. Fancy that. Then Yonayama, the president of Yonex, the title sponsors, making the presentations, and we've also got Mrs. Aruna Sharma from Doordarshan Television, our host broadcaster, doing the honours as well. It has been a thrilling week for all of us, very different and difficult on some occasions, but right now the smiles rain out here in Hyderabad. Ben Yonayama, they put so much time and effort in, and of course Yonex, kings of the sponsorship game in badminton at the moment, no doubt at all about that. They put a lot of money in the sport, and of course they expect the rewards on the back of that. Former double world champions, silver medalists in the Olympics, And I think they'd be the first to admit that they weren't actually absolutely on par. Widianto looks like a spent man there. He really has suffered in that final. Liliana Natsir trying to put a brave smile on things. She did well, but did I see a little tear there in Widianto Natsir's eyes? He knows that perhaps his day is done. But let's now prepare for the smiles and the wonderful, wonderful feel of achievement here. Thomas Leibon and Camilla Rytterhjul raise their hands in triumph, and the whole of Denmark and most of Europe will celebrate a famous victory. Congratulations, Denmark. It has been hard, it has been tough, but what a moment in their lives. Mrs. Aruna Sharma makes that presentation again to the victors. And now they'll come forward for the tableau photograph that will be on all the front pages, I would hasten to say, in Denmark, and all the sports pages around the rest of the world as well. Gold medals for Denmark in the mixed doubles here at the World Championships in Hyderabad. Congratulations to the day.
Congratulations.
Well, I've attended many top sports festivals over my commentary career over the last 30 years, and it always brings a tear to my eye as well when I see an endeavor like that and an achievement like that. It is quite amazing. It's no wonder that Rita Yule was in tears at that flag raising and the playing of a national anthem. Wow.